Hello children. So once again I'm here with a new video for you all, and it's time. I know it very well that you all are busy preparing for the board exam, okay, term 2 board exam, and for that only, as you are now prepared for the exam, so it's time to have a quick revision of the entire syllabus. Okay, and the best way of revising the syllabus is nothing but to solve or to go through the sample papers. Okay, so I have got a few sample papers with me. I'll discuss in these videos all these sample papers with you all. So let's start with it. Number one, as you all know the pattern of paper, it will be of 40 marks, and in this section 1 will be compulsory section, and in this you will be getting question number 1, that will be totally the map work. Okay, on the outline map of India you will have to mark a few features, and section 2 will be comprising of 5 questions, and out of those 5 questions you need to do any 3. Okay, so first question, compulsory portion, that is the map work, plus 3 questions from the second section, and that will make 40 marks paper. Okay, so let's start with it. In the first question, a few points have been given, like Karakoram Pass, Aravali, then black soil in western Maharashtra, river Tungabhadra, Kolkata, Satpura, Lake Chilka, Coromandel Coast, Jharia coalfield, and densely populated region in South India. These are a few features you need to mark on the map. Right? Now come to question number 2. In section 2, as we discussed just now, out of 5 questions you need to do any 3. Now first of all, we have to start with question number 2. You can see the questions. What are the industrial uses of manganese and copper? It is of 2 marks. Manganese is a major raw material, as you all know, in iron and steel manufacturing of, you can say, to make the steel very tough and rust resistant. Manganese is used. Okay, then it is used in several alloy making also, right? It is used in electrical and ceramic industries, manufacturing of dry cell batteries, etc. What about copper? Copper is used in manufacturing of electrical wires, right? Defense equipments, automobile industries. All these are the sectors where copper is in great demand, especially the electrical appliances, because it is a good conductor of electricity. Now come to question number B. State the major producer states and districts of iron ore in India. Largest producer of iron ore is Singhbhum district of Odisha. So Odisha, basically Odisha, Jharkhand, these are the areas important for the iron ore. So the largest producer is Singhbhum district in Odisha. Other leading producers are Mayurbhanj, Palamu districts of Jharkhand region. Okay, and even the Durg district of Chhattisgarh is also an important area for the production of iron ore. Clear? Now come to C. With reference to conventional resources, answer the following. Name 2 non-renewable conventional sources of energy. What are their disadvantages? 2 non-renewable conventional sources. Conventional sources means we are talking of the fossil fuels like the coal, petroleum and all. Okay, so you can see here the 2 non-renewable conventional sources of energy are coal and petroleum. Okay, now let's talk about the next part of the question. What are their disadvantages? So their disadvantages are many. You can start with, like, the first point is these sources produce pollution and lead to global warming upon combustion to generate heat energy. Right? So number 1 is this. Number two is these sources are limited in quantity and they have high demand and limited supply. Hence, they are very expensive. Then next, third point, you can see the transport cost of these fuel sources is very high because most of these are very bulky. It increases the cost of production, right? So these are the most important points for this. These are non-renewable, these are limited in quantity. Okay, so all these are the disadvantages in the case of coal and petroleum, right? Now the next part of the same question is name any two states benefited by the Bhakra Nangal Hydel Power Project. So Bhakra Nangal Hydel Power Project is actually giving benefit to three main states, that is Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan. Now after this, next question is state two advantages of the biogas plant. Biogas as non-conventional energy source. Okay. Now two advantages of biogas plant are uh, 3 points have been discussed and out of these any two you can write. Okay. Number one is the plants are a renewable source of energy, right? Biogas, basically biogas is renewable. Okay. Then it produces organic manure along with fuel. So in the biogas plants, you'll find on one side we are getting the energy. Okay. And energy also from where? Energy from the waste. Right? This is a very strong advantage of it. We are generating electricity or the energy out of the waste which was earlier harming the environment. So we are helping to keep our environment clean on one side. We are getting energy, the second benefit of it. Okay. And third very important benefit of it is that organic manure, right, which is the left out part of it, can be used as an organic manure in the fields, right, by the farmers. So all these things are very strong advantages of biogas plants. Okay. Next is list one location where wind energy is harnessed in India. Now these they can be established in the open areas like deserts, coastal areas and all. Now in India, if we find wind energy is harnessed in which areas, so regarding that we can say in coastal areas of Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Odisha, these are the areas where the wind energy is harnessed in maximum amount. Okay, next question is state the temperature and soil requirements for wheat. Question number 3, that is agriculture part. Okay, so the first question is temperature and soil requirements for wheat cultivation. So wheat, basically children, you all know that wheat is a rabi crop. Okay, so wheat seeds germinate between 20 to 25 degrees centigrades, right, and it grows well at temperatures between 10 to 15. Okay, 10 to 15 degrees centigrade is the most ideal temperature under which it grows best. However, it can withstand the temperature maximum till 30 to 32 degrees because it's a winter crop, especially in India. When we talk about it, it is a winter crop. That's why it is called rabi crop. Okay, so this is the reason. Basically it is grown during the winter season in the northern plains. So it doesn't need very high temperature, and that's why you can see here it can withstand temperatures maximum till 30 to 32 degrees centigrades. So that is maximum. It is mainly grown in alluvial soil of Ganga Satluj plains and the black soil region of peninsular India. Okay, well drained, textured soil with lime content and a flat leveled land is suitable for the cultivation of wheat. Okay, these are the requirements for wheat cultivation. Second part of this question is why is rainfall during harvesting period harmful for cotton cultivation? Harvesting period, right, when we have got the cotton pods, at that time when the rainfall will occur, it can ruin the cotton balls and it can cause rotting and pest infestation. Therefore, it is harmful for the cotton cultivation, especially when the harvesting is going on. Next question for the same is what is a rabi crop? Give an example of a rabi crop. Winter crops, especially in India, that are cultivated between October to December, right, and harvested by you can say the end of February or March. That is the period when we get this crop harvested. These crops which come under this category, these are called as rabi crops, because this is the season, this is called agricultural season named rabi. So whichever crop is grown during this agricultural season, these crops are called as rabi crop. Okay, just now in the earlier part we have discussed about wheat. Wheat belongs to this category, right? Now examples include wheat, barley, pea, gram, mustard. These all are rabi crops. Next question is what is the Japanese method of rice cultivation? Japanese method of rice cultivation uses HYV rice seeds, and its name mainly the Japonica variety is commonly used in this method, right? Japonica method. Japonica variety of high yielding variety seeds, right? Where the seeds are sown in raised nursery beds. Once the seedlings grow after about 5 weeks, the seedlings are selectively transplanted at 10 to 15 centimeters spacing in rows with a spacing of 20 to 25 centimeters, right? Now the beds are regularly manured, weeding is done, plenty of water is used to keep the field submerged underwater. Then method of cultivation, sowing and harvesting is highly mechanized in this method. Okay, so naturally if we are providing such inputs and such a good method of cultivation is being done, HYV seeds are used, mechanized farming is done, naturally the total production is going to be very good. And that is why we say the yield of rice is increased much more in this method of Japanese, you can say Japanese method of rice cultivation, right? Now come to next question with reference to tea cultivation. Answer the following. Number one is what is oolong tea? Oolong. Oolong is a variety of tea prepared by the processes of withering tea leaves under the sun, then oxidizing and drying or roasting of tea leaves, right? This is called oolong tea. What type of tea, what type of soil and climate is required for tea cultivation? You can see now, tea requires well-drained, deep, friable loams or forest land rich in organic matter. Okay, the soil must be rich in iron oxide. That is one important point. Land should be sloping to avoid stagnation of water, because whenever the water remains there along the stem of the tea plant, it will harm the plant a lot. That is why always you will find that tea gardens are there on the slope of the hills, right? What is the reason for that? This is the main reason. Okay, whenever rainfall occurs, water should flow away. It should not stand there, it should not remain stagnant there. Okay, whenever water will remain there, it will harm the crop. Now what about the climatic requirements? You can see temperature, maximum monthly temperature which is required for it is 24 to 30 degrees centigrades. Within that the temperature should remain. Okay, minimum temperature should be, actually you can say 18 degrees centigrades, right? Now rainfall, it grows well in a humid climate. It cannot stand long spells of dry weather at any time of the year. And rainfall at least 150 centimeters throughout the year. It needs rainfall throughout the year. Humid climate and rainfall throughout the year, that is one important requirement for it. And a long dry spell should not be there in the area where this cultivation is being done. Okay, because again it is going to harm the crop. Done. Now come to question number 4. what are the advantages of mini steel plants over the integrated steel plants? Now, mini steel plants are the steel plants which can be established anywhere. Okay, so it is never a steel plant which is always required to be established very close to the raw material areas, right? Or you can say the area where the mining is done, mining of the iron ore or the coal is being done. So it can be established anywhere. Why? What is the reason for that? You can see now. Number one is these mini steel plants are using the scrap iron. Okay, the scrap iron which is actually left out iron in the integrated steel plants. Okay, the scrap is being used as raw material in the mini steel plants. So they are never worried for getting established close to the mining areas. Okay, number one. Number two is that they use electric furnace. Okay, many steel plants are using electric furnace. They do not need fossil fuel to power their furnaces. So this is again quite cheaper than the integrated steel plants. That's why the investment level in the mini steel plants is much less. Okay. Next is they reduce the burden of integrated steel plants. In what way? By producing regular consumer items for the domestic market. Right? So these are the advantages of mini steel plants over the other one, that is integrated steel plants. Now come to next question, differentiate between private sector and public sector industries along with example. Now that you can say private sector industries are those which are totally owned by any private firm or any person, right? But public sector industries are those which are controlled, which are actually under the control of the governments, right? Okay, those are called public sector industries. One more difference you can say, private sector industries are especially their production or the whatever their profit or loss, whatever is there, these are actually these are taken up by the private firm which owns that particular industry, right? It has to bear all the loss or all the profit also goes with it. But when we talk about the public sector industries, because the government is there behind it, so whatever profit will be there of these industries, that will also go with the government, or if there is any loss, it will also be taken up by the government. Okay, and one more difference, private sector industries are basically their main motive is to earn more and more profit, right? Their primary interest, or you can say primary motive behind the production or any such work is actually to earn more profit. But when we talk about public sector industries, in these industries, the most important motive is to provide service to the people. Then second motive is to earn profit. Okay, so these are the most important differences between the two. Clear? Now let's talk about the next question with reference to TISCO, Tata Iron and Steel Company. Okay, answer the following. What are the major products of TISCO? TISCO is producing heavy rails, right? Structural beams, rolled wire, bullets, etc. All these are produced by TISCO. Now, where is TISCO located? You can see here, TISCO is located at Sakchi. Okay, Sakchi, now it is called Jamshedpur in Singhbhum district of Jharkhand. Clear? Now, next is what is the source of water and iron ore for TISCO plant? Source of water is actually the two small rivers are providing water to this industry. These rivers are Kharkai. Okay, you can see. Number one is Kharkai river. Number two is Subarna Rekha. Kharkai and Subarnarekha. These two rivers provide water. Okay. What about iron ore? Iron ore is actually provided by Guru Mahesani mines of Mayurbhanj district, Odisha. Noamundi mines of Singhbhum district of Jharkhand. Okay. These are the most important mines which provide iron ore, especially to this industry. Okay. Now come to the next question with respect to cotton textile industries. Number one, you have to answer all these questions. Number one is, why are cotton mills located near the coastal areas of peninsular India? Now, what are the reasons? You can see. Number one is the humid climate, which prevents the thread from breaking. Okay, that is again an important thing. We are talking of the textile industries, right? Textile industries need, actually, the cotton is actually converted into, yes, yarns, right, threads, and these threads, when they break, it actually affects the quality of the textile. So this humid climate which is there in the coastal area, that helps to prevent the thread from breaking. Okay, therefore the mills are located near the coastal areas. This is the main, one of the most important reasons behind it. Okay, next question is, what are the main problems of cotton textile mills in India? In India we are talking of, right? So problems of cotton textile mills in India are, number one is, we are having most of the mills, right, cotton textile industries are belonging to very old, or you can say these are, most of these are very old, right? So naturally the machineries which are being used are also old and obsolete machineries are there. Okay, so naturally it is going to affect the total production, quality as well as quantity both, right? Number two is that problems of power outage, right, makes the cost of production to go very high, right? And one more additional point you can add from your side, that is the inadequate supply of raw material, good quality cotton is also a big, you can say, problem which is being faced by this industry, right? Now come to next question. Question number 5. State two advantages of airways over other modes of transport and state its disadvantage. Two advantages of airways and one disadvantage. Okay. Now let's see the two advantages of airways. Number one is, no doubt it is one of the, not one of the, it is the fastest means of transport. Okay. Because it is fastest, so it is suitable for long distance travel. Okay. Number two, very important advantage of it is that it can cross any natural barriers without any problem. That means it can cross over the mountains, large water bodies, deserts, forest. All these areas can easily be crossed by the airways. Okay. Hence, important for international traveling especially, right? Now come to the disadvantages. A very strong disadvantage of it is the costliest mode of transport, very expensive mode of transport. Okay, another one disadvantage of it is highly influenced by the weather condition, right? Its dependence on weather condition makes it again, actually this is a strong disadvantage of this airways, right? So number one is, it is the most expensive or costliest mode of transport. Number two is that its dependence on weather condition, that is again very strong disadvantage of it. Okay, now come to the next question. On which river is national waterway number 1 has been established? Why are waterways most important for cargo transport? So for the first part of the question, it is river Ganga, on which number 1 national waterway has been established. Second part of the question is, why are waterways most important for cargo transport? For this you will write, waterways are the most important means because it is the cheapest means of transport, especially when we talk about the cargo, right? For bulky goods, when we need to carry the bulky goods or the cargo transport from one country to the other, right? In that case, this is the best means of transport, right? Because it is cheapest. There is no traffic congestion on the coastal waterways, right? And moreover, one more important point is there that these consume very less amount of fuel. So these are the three advantages for it. Okay, right? Now come to next. Why are peninsular rivers not navigable? Again, an important question for you. Peninsular rivers are rain fed, okay, and these are seasonal. That means during the rainy season they have sufficient amount of water, otherwise they are having very less water in them. Okay, so naturally if less water, it's not ideal for navigation or for movement of boats and ships, right? Then moreover, they move over undulated terrain. Undulated landform is there. That means you can say rocky surface, and the ups and downs are there, right, in the peninsular region. So again, it is not suitable for the navigation. Then they are fast flowing and they are very short, and moreover they have several waterfalls, rapids in their way. So all these things make it not so good for navigation. Therefore, they are not so much navigable. Next is state two economic benefits of golden quadrilateral. Again, an important question for you all. Two economic benefits of golden quadrilateral. Name the cities that are connected by this NHI project. Right? Now, two economic benefits of golden quadrilateral are: number one, the highway network interconnects major cities and ports. Okay, to get a faster development, what has been done? This actually connects several important cities, the metropolitans, okay, and the ports, and several small towns also, so that the development can be much faster, right? Moreover, you can say it gives impetus to truck transport throughout India, and it supports growth of agricultural production and development of villages also, and the towns through which these roads pass. Then the cities connected by the Golden Quadrilateral are Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Chennai. These are the four main cities which are connected. It also connects several other cities, right? Like Bangalore, right? Bangalore, Pune, Ahmedabad, Surat. These all cities are the industrial centers, and these are actually connected by the Golden Quadrilateral. Now come to the next question. What is composting? State two advantages of composting. Basically, composting is the method of recycling, okay, biodegradable waste into a new thing which is called organic manure. Okay, after its decomposition, it changes into manure, and that is called organic manure through the process of aerobic or anaerobic decomposition of biodegradable waste. When it is done, that is called composting. Now, what are the two advantages of composting? Number one is disposal of piles of biodegradable waste. Otherwise, it would be there in open. It could cause pollution, right? Now, what is being done? That entire amount of that biodegradable waste has been taken up from there and is now being converted into valuable organic manure. So this is number one. Number two is that it improves the soil quality, fertility of the soil. Okay, microorganisms and water holding capacity of the soil is also improved in this manner. Okay, so we are not using any chemical fertilizer for this purpose, but instead of using chemical fertilizer, which actually causes a lot of you can say side effects also, right? So instead of using that, we are using manure which is totally organic. Okay, so no side effects. It further improves the fertility of the soil, right? Now next question is, what is the advantage of sanitary landfill over open dumping? First of all, sanitary landfill over open dumping. Two different things. Number one is waste is packed and covered with a layer of soil. Sanitary landfill is that where you will find the waste is, suppose waste is dumped there, okay, it is covered always with a thin layer of soil. That happens in sanitary landfill. So when it is covered, less chances of pest and rodent and you can say the infections which are caused by these the waste, okay, that will be caused very less. Grazing of animals will be seen very less in that case, which again harms those animals. So this is a big advantage of sanitary landfill, which is not seen in the case of open dumping. Open dumping, simple, one area is selected for that dumping of the waste. Generally it is the area away from the settlement area, okay, in the outskirts of the cities and all. So there we just dump all the waste. In open it is lying, so it is causing different diseases and a lot of infection caused by that. Then animals also graze in that area, so it actually spoils the environment, right? The scenic beauty is spoiled. Then it causes foul smell to spread over there. It causes several diseases also to be caused because of the pests and rodents which actually survive over there. So that is again one important thing which you should know. Then foul odor, which is actually emitted in the case of open dumping, it is not seen in the case of sanitary landfill because it is totally covered with the soil, right? Next is spread of communicable diseases or pollution of underground and surrounding water bodies is reduced in the case of sanitary landfill because it is covered. Open dumping, if the waste is lying in open, it will cause pollution of air on one side, it will cause pollution of soil on the other side. Third, if the rainfall occurs, it will cause the water to flow through that area and that water will carry a lot of that waste along with it, and it will ultimately join any of the water bodies. So it is going to pollute that water body also, right? If that water seeps down inside, it will cause pollution of the underground water also, right? So all these things are such chances are reduced to a great extent when we use sanitary landfill. One more thing, the area looks aesthetically clean and habitable when we talk about sanitary landfill. If it is open dumping, it's not at all clean and habitable. Now come to next question. Give an example to explain the role of reduce and reuse in waste management. Okay, reduce and reuse. Now you can see example of reduce, reduction in the use and consumption of plastic bags. Okay, if plastic bags will be used less, naturally production will be less, production of plastic. So in this way we are reducing the waste, and consumption of plastic bags can be actually the, instead of using the plastic bags we can carry the paper bags and the jute bags, right, or the cloth bags can be used. Second is example of reuse. Reuse means anything is there, actually now it is of no use at all, but still if we think of it, it can be used in the other way. For some other uses we can have it again, right? Like suppose one example has been given here, glass jars, okay, and bottles. These are generally taken as the waste, okay, once these are of no use, they are just thrown out. Now these can be used in kitchens or to keep several things in them. So in that way we are reusing these. Clear? Then old clothes can be reused by converting them into mats, then rugs, or the cleaning clothes and all. Next question is, what is the importance of segregation of waste? Now segregation, the term should be clear to you. First, the segregation of waste helps proper disposal of waste. Okay, what is it now? Separation of waste in different categories. That is called segregation. So this is a step which we do in the beginning, right? In the waste management process, this is the first step we do, right? Now every waste has a different method of disposal. So for example, biodegradable waste, it can be converted into compost. right? Newspapers or cardboards can be converted into recycled paper. Then the metallic waste can be again recycled into some other new items, right? So segregation helps reduce the accumulation of waste, and in this manner it helps in faster disposal of the waste also. Next question is the last question: what are the effects of waste accumulation on the environment? Waste accumulation, you know it very well, that it causes breeding of pests and rodents in the open dump, or you can say the piles of waste, right? So this can lead to the spread of diseases. Several type of diseases can develop. It causes foul smell to spread over everywhere near that area, so that causes a lot of pollution in the surrounding environment, right? So foul odor emitted from decomposing pile of waste accumulated in that area can cause again harm to the people. So this all such condition makes that area uninhabitable, right? It's not healthy for the people or any of the living beings to survive there. So these are the effects of waste accumulation in the environment. So now this is the one of the sample papers I have discussed here. Now it's over, and in this video I have tried to discuss all the questions with their answers, right? Hope you will get benefited by this. Actually, going through all the questions, once you prepare all the chapters for the board exam, just go through all these sample papers, and I am 100% sure that these sample papers are going to help you a lot. So as I end with this video, as I wind up this video, I want to remind you, do share the link of this video with your friends and classmates, and also don't forget to subscribe the channel so that every video which is being uploaded on the channel, you will get the information about it. Okay, so subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for that. So this is all with this video. Now in the next video I will discuss again the another sample paper for the board exams. Okay, so see you soon in the next video. Till then, bye.